welcome to Hatrick's weekly GT7 Race Guide. And now we have Race A, which is 8 laps of Autodromo Lago Maggiore East End Reverse. Yes, this circuit comes up an awful lot, but we do quite enjoy it. It's a grid start with a false start check. It's 1 times fuel, 1 times tyre. It's comfort soft tyres, but look at the category. It is Group B. Group B rally cars, for all things. Have a look at this choice you've got here. It's quite incredible. You've got the Toyota Celica GT4, the Mustang, the Lancer Evolution, the Hyundai Genesis, the GTR, the Ford Focus, this Audi Quattro, the NSX, the 86 GRB Toyota, the RCZ Peugeot, and the Subaru WRX. And also there's a Peugeot 205, all the way from 1986. So it's a fantastic lineup. These are all the classic rally cars that we love. Odd that they put it on Comfort Sport tyres. It basically means there's going to be huge slides and not anywhere near the grip that you would expect from a car like this. But it's a lot of fun though, and I think this combination is going to be absolutely crazy. But there is a word of warning. SR is still on. So if you do anything crazy, it will be affected for your sportsmanship. So make sure that you don't do anything insane, at least not for a while. Let's get to a lap and see who's quick here at Autodromo Lago Maggiore. So this week I'm going to use Woody Boy as a 0.0001 behind, in front of Tidgney in a fantastic time. So let's see how he did it. So coming into the start-finish straight, of course you're on a slight curve here. He takes a lot of curb, breaks into fourth, down into third, and then a big slide, but accelerates out. You can use a bit of the sausage and the curb, accelerating out nicely onto the straight. And then we'll be going under the bridge now. Where will he brake? You're going to watch out as you come up the hill. There's a bit of curbing on the right, and he's braking as he comes onto that curb. There's a big slide. So lots of wonderful rally-style slides there. And then accelerating out, you can kind of straight line this one, but back off before you get to the brow of the hill. He's gone down to the second gear, a big slide, and accelerating out nicely up into third as he went round that corner, and revving it out into fourth, taking a nice straight line across all those curbs, bringing it round nicely, and then accelerating. Oh, hits the bumper, hits the wall, but he's still got a 48. So even with a bit of a bump there, he did a fantastic time. I don't necessarily think it was the bump that gave him that extra speed, but he's done pretty well. The lap before was a 48.9, but he took nearly a second off that. So it's a good fun race, look at that. And you've got all the classic rally cars. So it's a lot of fun. I think this will definitely be a bit crazy, but do remember that SR is still on, so you don't want to ruin your rating, your sportsmanship, for any banzai moves. Let's get on to Race C. Here we are at Race B. It is Trial Mountain, once again in the Group 3. I'm sure we had this very recently. It's 4 laps with a rolling start with 1 times fuel, 1 times tyre. Now there is mid-speed bop on this, so you can use a garage car or one, or you can rent one. You can also do suspension, differential, and brake balance. So look out for any special setups that you might see on many of the top content creators' websites or on their Discords, and you'll be able to get a good setup from there. But you've got lots of options there. There's lots of cars to choose from. You've got, in fact, the entire Group 3 out in there, which is just hundreds of different cars. Let's have a look to see what is the meta car. And we've got Wiggs' Warren in the Genesis. We've got Tidgney in the 911. And we've got RL250 in the GTR Nismo. So there's certainly a number of cars. The Porsche looking strong, which is always good because it's quite a nice car to drive. So let's have a look at Tidgney's lap, and we'll see how to do a very fast time. So here we are with Tidgney in the Porsche 911. And he's coming on past the start-finish straight and about to back off slightly just as he's turning in there, taking a lot of curb on the left-hand side. And then again, holding that left-hand curb, staying in 5th gear, accelerating out, coming into the tunnel, braking down into 2nd gear. A nice apex here. The car, usually, kind of because the camera's on your side, it helps you to come over. And braking nice and early into 2nd gear. And then hits that apex beautifully, accelerates up into 3rd gear. And takes the left curb, stays in second gear and then accelerates out. You have to kind of back off just a touch and let the car roll, taking all the sand on the left hand side and staying in third gear for that, and onto the back straight. Crucially, you need to get early acceleration onto the back straight, as it's such a long straight. Every bit of fraction of a second, it all counts here. And as you come out of the tunnel, revving it right out, look out for his braking points, which will be just after the left turn there, which is the yellow sign, and keeping a lovely apex there and accelerating out, hitting a 107.948, and then hitting all the apexes, braking as he goes on top of the hill, taking lots of apex. You can use a good bit of the yellow curb there too. Down over the hill and then braking well before the corner into second gear, and nice accelerating out there, and then down the hill, coming into the chicane. Where is he going to brake? Nice and early. He takes lots of that left-hand curve into the chicane and then cuts a good bit of the right-hand corner and accelerates out. Look how close he is to the wall. You try and straight line it as much as possible, and there he is with a 148.955, which is a very quick time indeed. So race B is group 3. It's very kind of like the normal things that we've had many a time over, but it might be a reasonable race. So here we are on race C. It is Brands Hatch in the group 4. It's a combination we've had before. This time it's 11 laps. We've got 16 cars in the race, and it's 1 times fuel but 5 times tyre. And you've got to use the racing medium. You can use a garage car or rent one, and there is suspension and differential allowed in terms of adjustments of brake balance. So you can do partial suspension and partial differential, and also brake balance too. Now, when I watched Key this morning, he actually was making very few adjustments because the main setup he thought was actually very good. So it may well be that that's no problem, and actually you'll find that the car is good. The meta car seems to be the Renault Megane. Everyone seems to be watching that. So let's go to the lap and see how to do a reasonable time. So here we are using our own lap time this week, which is the first, and we're coming on to the start-finish circuit. Sorry, start-finish straight here in the Megane as we go around Brands Hatch, one of my favourite channels there. Now we brake just at the second board sign, trying to hold a bit of right apex in there, and then going out as far as we can, but not going out onto the dust, braking before the bridge so that you can hug the inside apex at the hairpin, and then accelerating out. I'll go out onto this cam, it's quite a good one. Braking just before the curb on the right so you can take a nice smooth line over to the left, and heading along to another dodgy left-hander, braking just as you come into the corner. And then I backed off and then accelerated out up into third, and that got me a nice run for the first sector. And then it's flat out all the way down the straight, under the bridge, and then braking again at the number 2 sign, into fourth. I went a little bit wide. I probably could have had a better line coming around there, maybe a few tenths in it there. Staying in fourth, then braking, and then holding that right apex, running it out. You can go quite far out wide there, and it's not too bad. This is a tricky one. You've got to kind of brake a little bit earlier, or at least back off, take a good bit of curb, let the car run out. We're even slightly on the grass, but we're okay. Down into third, hit that apex and accelerate nice and cleanly all the way through. And on to the final back straight before the start-finish straight. Again, staying in fourth, just rev it out, taking the apex on the right, and then accelerating out using all the road, and then coming back in to get as close as you can to the line. And there you go, a 1:30.188. Not the fastest time by any means, but I thought it was actually reasonable, and there's quite a bit of time in that. So that is race C. Now this one, as you say, there's going to be strategy. You're going to have to come in and do a pit stop, but nobody, when I was watching it earlier, was actually changing tyres. People thought the Alpha would be very good on tyres, but a lot of people don't like that car, and it seems like the Megane is the meta car for this. Make sure you choose the touring version, the one that's rear-wheel drive and not front-wheel drive. But yeah, it looks like it could be quite a fun race. I watched Key's race first thing this morning, and he went from last to second in an epic race. So this could be a really good fun race. So thanks very much for watching and supporting the channel. Bye just now. Remember to drive fast, but drive your bus even faster. Bye just now.